Hey guys, Victoria here and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be about the 8 habits of successful students. These are the things that I think every student should do if we want to be successful, and these are the things that I try to do as well. So number 1 is to finish up your work as soon as you have been assigned that particular work. So it could be homework, assignments, or a chapter that you want to cover. Like let's say today your teacher taught you biology chapter 4. Okay, so you know that you have to go over this chapter as a revision. So you write that into your to-do list and you have to make sure to go through that. So do it as soon as possible. Do not procrastinate doing the things that you have to do. Either that or you can procrastinate but with a time limit. Let's say you have an episode of drama that you really want to watch. So procrastinate with a time limit, meaning you tell yourself that okay, this episode is 40 minutes, so after I watch these 40 minutes of drama, I will get straight back to work. Finishing up the task that you have to do as soon as possible is so important because it prevents things from stacking up and accumulating until it gets out of control. And when it gets out of control, it will stress you out to the maximum. So these are the things that you know you have to do, whether sooner or later. So why not you complete it now? And once you are done doing whatever you have to do, you can do whatever you want to do, and you will be in a much better mood when you're doing the stuff that you like. The second habit of successful students is to always have a study plan and be realistic about it. I know that there's a lot of stuff in the syllabus, so there's a lot of things that you need to know, a lot of things that you need to memorize, so you can't be cramming, okay? Like on the top list of the things that unsuccessful students do, cramming would be top of the list. So always avoid cramming. You can start planning your revision around 1 month away from the revision and be realistic about your study plan for each and every day. You can't expect to cover 3 biology chapters in 1 day because you'll be rushing them and you'll end up not remembering anything. So always have a study plan and have a realistic one. Like your study plan won't work or won't help you if it is not realistic. So if you want a rough idea of realistic, maybe you can use 1 day to cover 1 biology chapter. That is realistic. And also don't ever rush your revision. Like be flexible with your schedule. If today you have planned that, okay, I want to cover 1 chapter of biology today, but then maybe you're not in your best mode and you don't feel like studying, so you can't like manage it, don't rush the revision. Don't just like read blindly without absorbing the information because it defeats the purpose. So what you do instead is, if you watch my how I plan my study schedule video, you will know that I reserve 1 day per week at least, like as a day off, so you can use that day, the morning of that day, to complete whatever you couldn't complete during the weekday. So obviously it's better if you can go according to your schedule, but if you lag behind, so at least there's a day to catch up on whatever you're doing. So the third habit of a successful student is they always ask questions. So I think the most important quality of being a student itself is to be curious. Have curiosity. Whenever you come across an English word or a biology term that you don't know, look it up in the dictionary or Google it up, whatever you want to do. And most importantly, also be curious and always ask questions related to your studies. So if you can't catch up with what is being taught in the class, then always approach your teacher and have a one-to-one explanation. It's like a privilege to you can ask your teacher, so why not do it? You won't lose anything, but you'll gain knowledge. Truly understand the material, not just memorize it blindly, because at the end of the day, whatever you learn today will help to prepare you for your future, like not just for the test, but the knowledge that you gain will make you wiser and smarter unless you don't understand the material in the first place. So always attempt to understand your material. And in order to understand your material, obviously, you have to ask questions whenever it is necessary. I always make it a point to ask my teachers or my friends whenever I don't quite understand something. I just speak it out loud and we'll have a discussion. First, I'll ask my friend, and if she doesn't know as well, we'll go and approach the teacher and have our doubts cleared. So it's very important that you clear your doubts the same day that you have them. If not, the questions you have will just stack up and you won't even know what you don't know at the end of the day. So whenever you know that you don't know something, ask questions and get it settled. The fourth habit of successful students is to always prioritize your output over the amount of time spent studying. So I think a lot of students have this misconception that in order to succeed, you need to study a number of hours a day. Like, okay, if I study 5 hours per day, I will get good results and stuff like that. I think that this concept is like wrong, because what we have to prioritize is the output. It does not matter how many hours you spend studying. And also, if you tell yourself that, okay, today I'm going to sit down and study for 4 hours, it is less likely that you will make the most out of your time. You'll just be like, oh my god, no matter what, I have to sit down for 4 hours. But if you use a goal instead, like, okay, today I'll do biology chapter 1. And once you're done with this chapter 1, you can do whatever you like. You can catch up on your drama, you can like go on social media, whatever you like to do. So every time that you sit down at your desk, you need to have two things. Number one, you need to know what you want to achieve at the end of your study session. That is extremely important. And number two, you need to have a small reward in order to push yourself to study. Like, obviously this reward is optional. If you can work without a reward in mind, then by all means go ahead. When you're focused on finishing your task rather than the amount of hours that you're spending sitting there, then believe me, the hours will like pass by really quickly, because you're in like a race with time. The hours will pass by quickly, you get your stuff done, and you will get the reward that you deserve. So always prioritize your output over the time spent. Number 5 is to know your learning style. Everyone is a different type of learner, and everyone has different learning styles, so it is very important to know which kind of learner you are, so that the way that you study is suitable for you, and this can help your brain to retain information better. There are a lot of different types of learners and different types of learning styles. So we have kinesthetic learners, reading, writing learners, solitary learners, logical learners, auditory, visual learners. Many people are a mix of different learners, but they all have a dominant learning style. So I'm a reading writing learner dominantly, meaning I can only learn something if I'm actively taking notes and I'm writing it down, and it triggers my brain to remember stuff by writing it down. So I am mainly a reading writing learner, but I'm also a little bit of a visual and a logical learner. Because I noticed that when I try to remember something, I would try to think logically, like why would that happen? I would think about the cause and the effect of something, and when I think about that, it helps me to remember the actual facts better. So that is why I'm a logical learner and a visual learner, because I like to visualize, like if there's a certain process or certain things that can be visualized, I will visualize that in order to put it under my long-term memory. So dominantly, I am a reading writing learner, but I'm also a little bit of a visual learner and a logical learner. It is so important to know which kind of learner you are and how you learn the most effectively. So I'm going to make a video about the types of learners and the things they should do in order to maximize their study session. So once I get around to doing that, I'll put a link in the description box below. So the 6th habit of successful students is to always pay attention in class. I know this is like common sense, and they have been saying it to us since we were like in year 1, but it's literally so important. I know that a lot of you guys want to know which topics are more important, and in the topic what is more important. So those are the things that you will know if you really pay attention in class. This is because your teacher has been teaching the same thing to so many batches of students for so many years. They are literally like experts in the field, and they have been seeing so many exam papers and the SPM past year papers. They know what is important, okay? They know. And they'll be giving you hints of what is important when they emphasize certain things, and when they repeat certain things that you know that it's important. They'll also make little comments like, oh, this is a common essay question. So this is when you should really mark down, okay, put a bubble next to it and write common essay question. So when you're preparing for this particular question, you know that it's most likely going to be asked in an essay format, meaning you have to have like 8 to 9 points, and not just like 2 to 3 points for structured questions. So the way that you prepare for an exam is very important, and how to know how to prepare for the exam, the best way is definitely to pay full attention in class. I know that it's very easy to space out in class, so you can try getting a seat in front of the class, so that way the teacher will be staring at you and you cannot space out if you try. So that is a good way to. Number 7 is successful students always put in the work and think about the future. There is literally like no escalator to success. There is no shortcut. You reap what you sow. There's an idiom, by the way, if you want to use it in an essay. You reap what you sow and you will get what you deserve. You need to work hard for something. If you really want it, you need to work. So do whatever you have to do. You have to know that this revision and exams are all temporary. So after 10 years, in 10 years time, you won't be studying anymore, and you'll look back at this time and you might even miss studying, like who knows. But anyways, the years will pass whether or not you are working hard for it. The time will pass anyway. But if you work hard, I can almost guarantee you that after 10 years your life will be different from when you are not working hard. So if you have passion for something, then you have to work hard for it, because your job is literally what you're going to do for the rest of your life. And what determines your job is mostly your qualifications, your studies, like let's be real. Make sure that in 10 years time, when you're looking back at your past self, you'll know that, okay, I've done whatever I could do to achieve the life that I want, so this is the life that I get now. If you don't work hard, there's a chance that after 10 years later you might look back at now and you'll be like, I wish I worked harder and I wish I put in more effort, because that could literally change my life. So to avoid that, put in the hard work now so that you don't regret it later. The last habit of successful students is that they believe in themselves and also in the hard work that they are putting in. So you have to believe in yourself and believe that you can do whatever that you put your mind into. If you want to work hard, then you will achieve whatever you want. I just want to say that it is never too late to put in the hard work and to start working hard. Starting now is better than starting tomorrow or next week or next month. So it is not too late. You can still put in the effort and you can still do amazingly if you put in consistency together with the effort. You have to acknowledge that your hard work will not go to waste and it will not go unnoticed. And in the topic of believing in yourself, you have to take care of yourself as well, because you believe that you have the ability to achieve big things. So you have to take care of your mind and your body. You've only got one of each, and don't give in to pressure. Always take care of your health. Have faith in yourself and in the forces bigger than yourself. So those are the 8 habits of successful students. Those are the things that I try to put into practice, and I hope that you will try to after this. I hope that this video helped you in some way, whether it motivates you or gives you a sense of direction. These 8 habits covers both the things you have to do and your mentality, and both are equally important. Let us all work hard together in order to achieve the things that we want and in order to not regret in the future. Okay, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.